Rightio. NRGFPV here. So, can't really do much flying because some cockheads just stolen a heap of my shit from home. So I'm going to change up my channel sort of videos and try something a bit different in live streaming some of my creative process with all of this. So this is my energy wing that I've been working on for the last 2 years here in Fusion 360. I've been doing all of this, and I thought I'd just make tonight's episode about showcasing the new tails. These are the old tail design that I had with it. Quite shapely, and I do like them, but I would like something with a bit of a larger surface area. The back here of the tail is, I like this curve, and I do like the front curve, but in comparison to the rest of the wing, there's not as many curves. The only really place that there's curves are around the centre of the fuselage, but the actual wing components themselves are very flat and straight until you get to the tips. So the tails don't really suit, where the new tails, let's hide these ones and put the new ones in. Amber. Just the kitty cat. New tails are much straighter. There's a sort of try to incorporate that kick off of the, there's the two pieces are showing there. About the other side. The tip here, tried to incorporate the kickoff that the tip has got up here, but still keeping the straight leading edge and straight trailing edge for the bulk of it. The underside of the wing is designed to have a wraparound piece of the tail. Now the old tails did have a wraparound, but it was substantially larger, and it was also much more moulded. And it did protrude, and that was a bit of an idea of a mate of mine, to try and, when you're landing, have that sort of kick in and bury the nose down into the ground a bit more when it hits the ground. In my testing so far, that's actually been a bit of a hindrance because it breaks the tails very quickly. So the new tails, I'll just switch them over again, have a much shallower underside, because that is needed to hold the tail onto the wing, as they clip into these recesses here. So I do have to keep that feature. So this is cut completely horizontal with the underside of the wing. Wow. My cat just knocked over a heap of shit. This is Amber. She likes making chaos. Anyway, back to it. Where was I set up to? The clip underside does have to be a feature, but I've cut them 100% flat. So when you come in for landing, they don't protrude as much, and obviously not as much tail damage. Going on from that as well, made them slightly longer and taller. Hopefully this will help with stabilizing the wing a bit more in the lower speeds. It does tend to roll a little bit in the slower speeds, but in saying that, this wing is designed not to go slow ever, but that does make it hard for landing as well. So I will show you how I work with this and then exporting it. Oh, and just on the left hand side here, I do have a lot of my sort of progression, starting from the very first wing design here, to my second wing, to my third, and then splicing up the third, through to the fourth, and the fifth design, and then the sixth design, which is the current one, and all the internal parts. I'll just fire up some of them to show you. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. So this is the internal wing structure, from the center of the fuselage, the cable pass through, as well as the carbon tube to link the two halves goes through to these two guides. And then this is the former for the D-box of the leading edge of the wing. This prints out in the 3D printer in two separate parts, then I attach them with just 3mm carbon dowel between these plates here. Yeah, all the perforations are designed for the epoxy to allow to bond in and bite into it. And the servo bay, I will get the real one and show you. So this is the first one out of the mould. This is flown with the old tails. It's taken a bit of a beating already, but here's the underside of the servo bay, which is in the video over here. Sorry, in the screen over here. And then that exits out the top side of the wing. So far, all of the design aspects are being held through quite well. This is, as I said, it's taken quite a beating, and it's still in one piece. So, hopefully this is a good sign of things to come. Right. Let's take this through into the printing software. Now, I want to make the tail sections. So let's print these ones. Okay, so this is Cura. This is the slicing application that I use to send the pieces off to the 3D printer. As you can see, I've only sent one tail fin through. I'm going to align this and make it sit in the printer a bit better. It's a bit chunky while I'm streaming. That looks all fairly straight to me. Now the reason why I'm choosing to print this in this orientation is because of the V through the middle here. If I can print that open pointing upwards, then I don't require any internal support for that, and I will create print bed support to keep vertical up along the sides. Now I'm going to duplicate and mirror this piece to create the opposing tail fin. So we'll multiply this by 1 and then mirror it. Get rid of that. So now I've got the two opposing tail fins. And because they do slant out at a 13-degree angle, you can see that in these two pieces here. Alright, let's get this process. I think all my settings are pretty good from the last time I used this. Alright, let's slice this and have a look and see what it spits out. Okay. So not quite enough support around the base here to be able to support it during a print. 7 hours and 11 minutes, so that's not too bad a print. Let's have a look through the inside. Now you can see I've got on here 2 external skin layers as well as some internal framework. That's a pretty general thing for tester tail fins, so I'm happy with that. We'll just up the support a bit. So here in the menu I've got support and I've got it set to 17 degrees. Let's bring that to about 12 degrees. Slice. Alright, this looks quite a lot more substantial in the support. We've got all down the front here. This whole section here will create a support that will cup around the leading edge of the tail fin here and here. And that'll give it the vertical support while it's printing upwards. And then I'll be able to snap that out of the base once it's done. There is, however, a fair bit of support printing on the inside, so I might up this a little bit to about 15 degrees. And try again. Alright, let's have a look and see what it'll do. Alright, that looks like it'll do the job quite nicely. Supporting that underside along here the whole way. And the inside's got a bit of walling on both items. Yep, cool. Alright. Let's export that and send it to the printer. That'll take me 10 hours and 51 minutes, so probably about 12 hours of printing to do these 2 tail fins. Should be good. I'll hopefully palm this off to one of my friends, one of the guys I go slope soaring a lot with, great mate of mine, Slope Goat, and get him to test this for me. And then the second I've got a good go ahead that it flies well, I'll start moulding these tail fins and get production going for the V6 NRG wing, and then hopefully be able to send it out and start producing for everyone else. Cool, hope you enjoyed.